G'day everybody, and welcome to this video. I decided to make this video after mulling over a few issues or a significant development that occurred at the recent strategy meeting where we wrote bills with each other. Now I have here an example, a pro forma example of a typical bill similar to the ones that we actually wrote so that people can see. In this bill, I am the producer of some food. It says here that there's the bill number and there's my name and my copy, that I am going to produce corn cobs. I'm going to produce 10 of those cobs per month. It's going to commence from, in this example, September, and it's going to continue for 5 months through to January. The price of those cobs is 1 gram of silver per cob, which is just a price that we've agreed at for the purposes of doing this. But it is a very real transaction as well. We're actually going to exchange that silver and the cobs. My corn cobs are going to be exchanged for the recipient's 50 grams of silver payable on or before 31st of January 2025. And we've signed it. Now, I'm just going to ask a series of questions about this, which helps me clarify my own mind and hopefully will clarify some of the issues, but not all of the issues around money and currency, and help people to understand what the hell are we actually doing and why. So, what is going on here? Am I producing an income in silver by operating a commercial operation to produce food? Yes, I am. I am growing corn and I'm going to receive silver and I'm going to make a margin on that silver, which I will keep. Oh my God, Michael, you couldn't possibly keep silver, would you, you greedy producer? Sorry, I'm being facetious there. Yes, it's a commercial operation, a modest one, an incredibly modest operation, but it is a start. Probably the first income that anyone has had in silver for a very, very long time in Australia. Do I need any capital to start this operation? No, I do not, because that leads to my next question. Does this bill have value? Yes, it does. To the people within this group who are people that we know and trust and who get the value of this arrangement. It is not the piece of paper that has the value, it is the underlying promise to produce and subsequently exchange. That bill can be nested. Basically, because I am guaranteed, well, it is certain that I will receive this payment of silver in future. That can be discounted at a slightly lower rate than 50 grams to exchange when on a subsequent bill, write a subsequent bill with the supplier of compost to my corn operation, which has not yet commenced. By the way, I'm not a corn grower, but I'm doing this for a reason. And I'm reasonably confident, I am confident that I can actually grow into this bill and actually deliver into this bill. I would not have written it if I didn't think that I could. I've got enough gardening experience to make it happen. Okay, has anyone been forced to write this bill? No. Is it mutually consensual? Yes. Has anyone been lied to or been defrauded in this operation, in this agreement? No. Is it mutually honest? Yes, it is. Is it taxable? Only to the extent that we declare it to the authorities. Has anyone demanded a cut from this deal? No. Has it been regulated in any way, and are we subject to regulations? No, we are not, to the extent that we use our discretion between both the customer and the producer. Is this bill available to public? Actually, no, it's not. It's available to those who recognise its value. Are bills like this safe to write in dollars? No. nobody will write a bill like this in dollars because, only people who are unthinking would do so in dollars because we don't know whether dollars are even going to exist in January 2025. Or their value could have changed by then. Whereas the silver that will be paid into this bill does exist. It's not in the hands of the customer yet, but it will be in the hands of the customer, and the value of that silver will be constant. It is safe to write bills like this because it is the value of the bill relies on a certain promise to pay a physical object. Who determines what gets produced in this bill? Does government determine what gets produced? Does a corporate entity determine what gets produced? No, the customer determines what gets produced. And if they didn't, this bill would not be written. The customer needs corn and wants corn, and that is what actually is going to get produced. Michael, aren't you being a bit naive to think that you've actually created currency? Which leads on to the next question. Probably I am. Do I care about that? No, I actually don't, because all the reasons that I'm explaining. Is this currency? Yes, it actually is. It is a trust agreement between people. Currency is a word for credit. Credit is also a word for trust. So we have actually created currency which can actually circulate. So I'll talk a little bit about what the options for this bill could actually be. So I have a copy of this bill. The customer has a copy of this bill as well as acknowledgement of their agreement. I could actually just hold this. I'll go and produce the corn, and in January 2025, I will get my silver. Conversely, I also have, which I've not presented here, but I also have agreements with these customers that I will pay that silver out to them on or after at different times for food that I actually want as well. So I could hold it, I'll produce the corn and just get the silver. The other thing that I could do is it could be converted into a bearer note, which is the role of the bank. It can be brought in to the bank, which is me acting as a private individual in that capacity, and it can be converted into a bearer bill. And I would actually give that person pieces of paper designated in grams of silver, which are available to subsequently exchange with other people and are way more efficient than even using these. It can, importantly, this bill, because it has value, can also be cashed out. Now, when I'm talking about cash, I'm not talking about Australian dollars, which are counterfeit notes, bills. I'm talking about cash metal. Because it has value, I'm going to receive certainly 50 grams of silver in January. I could cash that out, get someone to give me silver, let's say 49.5 grams today, which I can use to potentially pay employees or pay suppliers as well. That process is known as discounting, and this is how the gold standard actually worked. Okay, is this honest and genuine currency? Yes, it is. And I want people to engage with this because this is how we determine whether this is a counterfeit currency. This is how we can recognize a counterfeit currency. If you compare this to an Australian dollar, it will then tell you what's actually true and what's not. There is no comparison between this as currency and an Australian dollar as currency. An Australian dollar is a counterfeit bill, remember. Has there been any regulatory authority which is told us what to do in this transaction? No. Is there any government involvement in this transaction at all? No. Are we free? Yes, to the extent that we produce and exchange in this manner. Is it complex? No. Is it convenient? Not particularly, but it's about honesty, not so much about convenience. Is it a private members association that we're dealing with? No, it's actually private individuals just agreeing to cooperate. That's what a bill is. It's an agreement to cooperate, amongst other things. Does it require a legal framework? No, because we do not acknowledge even the legitimacy of Australian law for reasons which we can discuss at length outside of this video. Am I getting paid? Yes. Am I getting paid in metals? Yes. So those are just some key questions about this bills and how they work as prompters to think about the nature of currency, think about the economic factors, think about the moral and philosophical aspects of economics, money, currency, and freedom.